Okay. So let's see what is an abacus first. This is our abacus. Can you see my screen? I'll pin myself. Wait for a minute. Yes. There's like abacus are of many types. There is one Chinese abacus and there is a Japanese abacus. The difference is in Chinese abacus, this type of abacus is used. Okay. In Chinese, this type of abacus is used. So we are now learning Chinese abacus. But in Japanese abacus, things are a bit different. If I want to show you, I'll share the screen to you. I'll search it for you. Yes. So Japanese abacus is called soroban, but we'll not use soroban right here because the techniques are a bit different. Okay. So if you see the picture of a soroban, can you see there are 5 beads here? But in the abacus that we use, it is there are 4 beads, not 5, right? Let me show you the Chinese abacus as well. We are using the Chinese abacus only. Okay, so the Chinese abacus is called Swan Pan. What is it called? Swan Pan. And it is something like this. Okay. See, it is something like this. This is the traditional one that I'm showing you. We have different because we are now in modern times, so we don't use the traditional one. But the things that they used before, they were made of jute, ropes, leaves. So they did not have a proper formation of abacus like we have today, but they had this abacus, and this was the very first calculating device. Okay. So in the history, if you go, when you learn history, you will get to know that the first ever calculating device in the whole world, in the whole wide world, on Earth, it was abacus. Before that, people used to use stones, leaves, rocks, many other things to do calculations. But now they made an abacus, which is something kind of looks like this in modern times, but before it used to look different, like I told you, the Swan Pan and the Soroban. Okay, so this is a kind of mixture of Swan Pan and Soroban, because Soroban has 1 bead here and Swan Pan has 4 beads here. Okay, now we'll study the parts of abacus. So till here, is it clear? Unmute yourself and tell me.
It's clear.
It's clear. Okay. Anything you want to ask about it?
No.
No. Okay. I will tell you one more fact that the computer programs in the older times were based on abacus. Do you know that?
No, ma'am.
So they were entirely based on abacus calculations, computer programs, everything. So abacus was a very essential tool that time, and now in medieval times it has lost its value. Okay, but now we are bringing it up again, and we are teaching it to children like you are about to learn abacus, है ना? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now I'll share my screen and I'll show you the picture of an abacus. Okay, tell me if you can see it, and then we'll learn the parts of abacus, because learning the parts of abacus is very simple, very easy. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
give me a minute. Yes. So please tell me if you can see my screen. Okay, wait a minute. I'll just share my screen. Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Very good. So, like I told you that there are two different types of abacus, Swanpan and Soroban. Soroban is the Japanese one, Swanpan is the Chinese one. But the contrast is here, okay? Yes. In Soroban, upper beads. In this one, there are only one bead, but in the downside, there are five beads. Okay. And in this one pan, that is a Chinese one, on the upper side, they have two beads, and lower side, they have only four beads. So the abacus we're going to learn is the contrast of these both. Okay? So don't be confused if we are using the Soroban or the Swan fan. We are using the contrast of it, which you can also call Indian abacus or just normal abacus. Okay? Now we are going to learn about the parts of abacus. Concentrate very carefully. Look at my screen. Look at my video as well. Okay? So now, this whole portion, this portion is divided with this portion. Okay? But what holds them, excuse me, what holds them together is this thing, the frame of the abacus. What is it? The frame of the abacus. If you can see on your abacus, Ridhivan, wait a minute. If you can see on your abacus and my abacus as well, see this black outline that is here on the abacus, this outline is called the frame of the abacus. What is it called? Repeat after me. Frame of the abacus. Okay? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm writing it on the board as well, so you don't forget. This is very easy, nothing to learn about it. Just you have to know. This is the frame. I hope you can see my screen. Good evening, Ananshi. We are just revising our previous lessons, so focus, okay? Okay, Ananshi? Chalo. Now, we have learned about frame. You can see on my screen as well. Frame. Now, what next we are going to learn about? The divisor. Okay. So basically, what is a divisor? See, this is the divisor. What is it? This is a divisor. Okay, it has many different names. Like many nicknames at home. Samita must have nicknames at home. Shri must have nicknames at home. I also have nicknames at home, right? So divisor also has many names. So you can just you can't say you call it divisor only. You can call it by many names. Okay. So it is divisor. Then there is divider or the bar. Okay. Three different names. Repeat after me. Divisor. Unmute yourself. Repeat after me.
Device.
Divisor.
Divisor.
Divider.
Divider.
Bar.
Bar.
Keep yourself unmuted. Don't mute yourself again and again when I'm sending you to repeat. Shall we do once more? Divisor. Repeat after me. You're unmuted.
Yes, ma'am.
Repeat after me. Divisor.
Divisor.
Divider.
Divider.
And bar.
Bar.
Okay. Okay. I see Ridhivan is a bit shy. Are you? See, there's no need to be shy in front of me. You can consider me as I'm not that old. I am just in seventh standard. So you can consider me as your friend. Okay. So don't be shy in front of me. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Because see, with doubt you cannot learn anything. Either you clear your doubts or you just sit there. So it is better to clear your doubts instead of just sitting there. You know, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I've written all the three names here: divider, divisor, and bar. I'll be using the word bar for it. Okay. So don't be confused. Ki what is divider, what is divisor, what is bar? All the three are same. Different names for the same thing. Okay. Now any doubt till here? Ridwan, Samita, Shri, any doubt? Yes, no reply?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now see, why do we call it divider? Because it is dividing our beads. You can see na कि these beads are separate from these beads are separated from these beads. Why? Because we have different work of these beads. Okay, you can see on my abacus as well or on your abacus as well. These beads are separated from each other. Why? Because they have a different meaning to it. They have different values. They are used for different individual things. Okay, now see here this bead. This bead is called the upper bead. What is it called? Upper bead. Repeat after me. Upper bead.
Upper beam.
Upper bead. And this whole deck, this whole line is called the upper deck. What is it called? The upper deck.
Upper
Okay?
deck.
Right. Now these beads are called lower beads. What are they called? Lower beads.
Beats.
And this whole line of them is called the lower deck. What is it called? The lower deck. Understood till here?
Yes, ma'am.
See, now I'll tell you the difference. Why are they called? Because upper beads, they are on the upper side. They are on the upper side of the abacus. But the lower beads, they are on the lower side of the abacus. The lower beads and upper beads. Okay? Okay, Ridhavan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now next, we'll study about monitors. Okay, monitors are very important in abacus because that is where you get to do the placing. Okay, but before monitors we'll learn about rods as well. Rods are simple, easy. These lines, you can see, wait, yeah. Can you see these lines?
Yes, ma'am.
These lines are holding the abacus on place. You can see in your abacus as well. Ridwan, Samita, Shri, see.
Mama, I
Yes,
know
ma'am.
the monitors.
Hmm.
Mama, Mama, I know the monitors.
That was what I'm saying. Ki I am making you revise everything. Yes. So here, can you see these rods?
Mom,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Samita.
Mama, are we having speed writing?
Repeat.
Mama, are we having the speed writing?
In the last 5 minutes, I will say. Okay. Yes. Can you see these rods? These rods are holding the abacus in place, and these rods play a very, very, very important role because they are used for our calculations. Okay. Now next we'll learn about monitors. It's very simple, very easy, but very important as well. Yes. So now what are monitors? Can you see these white dots on your abacus? Small white dots.
Yes, ma'am.
Now these white dots are called the sorry, excuse me. These white dots are called the monitors, or you can also say the white dots or anything you want, but mainly they're called monitors only. Okay, now see, monitors are called. Repeat.
Ma'am, there are 5 monitors.
Yes, correct. See, there are 5 monitors in your abacus. I'll show you. I'm coloring these with yellow, sorry, orange. So I hope you can see these. Not these. These are the monitors. They are placed on 5 different rods. You can see on my abacus as well. See, 5 different. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. These are called monitors. We use them for placing. So these are some specific rods. अब देखो, when you do any calculation on sorry, in your math, Ridwan, are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now when you do any calculations in your math notebook, or when your teacher asks you something, what is the first thing that you see? Ones place, huh? Ones place is very important.
Yes, ma'am.
Place value, है ना? Now see, place value is very important in math, obviously. Here also it is very important. But how do we figure it out? By the help of the monitors. Now see, how will we find rod? Where will it we will do all the calculations? Where will we find it? Can you see my Bacchus?
Yes, ma'am.
Count 2 monitors from your right side, 2 monitors from your left side. The middle one, which is left, this one, is your one rod. ठीक है? Two monitors from this side, 2 monitors from this side. One monitor that is left in between is called the one rod. Okay?